I think is really important.
I'm never ever a fan of people who take the victim mentality on anything in life. You know, it's hard. Things happen that are very difficult to deal with, but when you let that control your life, your decision making, whatever, and change who you are or who you could be, I think that's a big mistake. I think rather do like you said, embrace the suck. You know, like, so there's a guy who's on I listen to quite a bit podcasts and on YouTube and stuff. You remember Ed Milet?
Oh yeah, dude.
So Ed Milet has this one thing that he says about it, and he's just like, things happen either to you or for you. It's up to you how you view it, more or less. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah,
because he said it many, many times, and I thought about it, and I actually lived it in many ways. And I didn't think about it until I saw him talk about it. But even my last World Championship, 2 months prior to the New Jersey Championship, I separated my shoulder in hockey. I got boarded, got knocked out, hit the deck hard. Went to grab my stick and get up, and I couldn't figure out how to use my arm, so I grabbed it with my other arm. I started skating off. I'm a little wobbly. I'm like, wow, this is new. I've never felt like this before. Went to the bench because you have to when they blow a whistle on you. And I'm sitting there, and guys, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And I didn't even sink in yet, but now my shoulder starts throbbing. So my hand goes up to feel it, and I feel a bone sticking up, and I'm like, oh, that's not normal. That's not good.
This is not like
and it's
this.
not moving.
Yeah, right?
So I was like, I know I probably waited 5 minutes on the bench, and eventually I said to a couple of my teammates, I'm like, I'm going to get out of here. They're like, you okay? You need help? I'm like, no, I don't need help, but I can't play anymore. Something's going on my shoulder. I got to figure it out. Went to the hospital, blah, blah, blah. Short version is I couldn't do anything physically with that arm until the week of the New Jersey Championship.
Let me jump in real quick. So just for the people listening, we went to the tree conference, and it was in Rutgers, and you were there with the sling on.
Oh, yeah. I was wearing a sling for a while.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it happened in April, and our competition was in June, early April to early June. 2 months or so, I could not do anything.
Just for the people listening, it's true. Yeah. I saw Mark Chisholm in a sling, and I'm like, dang.
I did, for sure. So I went to that competition with no confidence. I hadn't climbed in 2 months. I haven't even done a pull-up in 2 months.
Wow.
The week of, my doctor said, okay, let's test a little bit. Try to do a pull-up, hang on, see if it hurts. If it doesn't hurt, just go for it, whatever. Because it was class 2 separation where you could do surgery, but you could try to rehab it. It was right on the verge. He's like, if you were a pro quarterback, I'd do surgery without question, but you're just going to have a goofy-looking shoulder, and it won't be bad, but you'll have a little arthritis later in life, which I was like, yeah, I'm going to have it anyway, probably. I'm a tree climber. Do you know what I do?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so I started climbing again like a couple days prior to the championship, but muscle memory took over. I think in my mind I skated in barely. Like I barely won that competition that year. But what I did was to get ready for the World Championships, which were in Chicago that year, I trained like a fiend. I did that 300 workout all the time.
Is that when that started, that workout?
I started before that, but I used it, especially during this, to get back into endurance shape too, because I couldn't do anything for 2 months hardly.
Yep.
No strength, pull-ups galore, all this stuff. And what happened was, at that competition, it rained the first day, poured and like soaked the whole competition site. We couldn't climb. We stayed indoors all day and did stuff like this as a group, told stories and things. And it was great, but we couldn't climb all day. So what did it mean? You're doing all the events in one day the next day, and we're starting climbing at 6 a.m. 6:30 with a bell right to ring. I finished my Masters Challenge, the last one to climb that day, at 8:30 something at night, and it was dark. I couldn't see my throw line on the ground. I'm like, I think I'm leaving gear behind because I can't see it.
That's nuts.
And I ended up winning. And you know why I think I won that year is because I felt super prepared, mentally stronger, and physically I was unstoppable personally for myself. Like on my own level, if I gauge my own thermostat, I was operating at the highest level because I was physically prepared. So even though we did all this in one day and it was a long, long day, I was ready to climb 10 more hours if needed. I felt it. Like I was not tired where I normally would. So I think it taught me a lot of lessons, and I thought about Ed Milet when he's talking like this was my Ed Milet kind of story in my mind, is that that shoulder injury happened for me, or I might not have been a champion that year.
Yeah, which goes to your point about the victim mentality, which is like the worst thing because
what was me?
That's right.
And if you did that,
you get stuck there.
You wouldn't have, pushed forward.
I don't take credit for doing it. Honestly, I think I was taught to do that, but I dug into the work, and I became a freak, like you said, to what you do. Mentally, I used that as I need to do more than I've ever done before to get up to that speed again. And it taught me so much, like, as a person.
Which is cool. I'll let you jump in. I just want to say a phrase, but the phrase that keeps coming up is, it's actually posted this, and it's by a guy, I forget his name, but he said the magic that you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding.
Absolutely right.
That's it. It's the whole. So I just
that's a great statement.
Great quote.
I love that quote.
And I agree 100%.
Yeah, same here.